What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? BizzyDad here. You there checking out the last round of Lapis Cluster Starter Deck spoilers. And I know I'm a little late to the party on this one, but I was away on vacation. Sorry about that, everybody, but I am back and right to business with the red deck. This is the final starter deck to be released as far as spoilers go. And if you take a look at the face on that deck, you know good things are coming. So let's get right into it. The ruler is Lunya the Wolf Girl. I don't know if it's Lunya or Lunya. I'll just call her Lunya. Is a human ruler with a judgment of 4, 2 red, and 2 of any. We see the Energize ability. If you don't go first, if you go second to start the game, you'll get a coin to banish and produce 1 red will at any time. And whenever a resonator you control attacks, this card deals 100 damage to target resonator. I can't stress how great of an ability this is. And while it seems that only 100, you might be thinking, oh, yeah, so what, big deal. But the way red is, I mean, this opens you up to so many different possibilities. And you think of a card like just Demon Flame off the bat, because Demon Flame will let you destroy a resonator that was dealt damage this turn. So this basically makes any one of your opponent's resonators ripe for the pickings if you have Demon Flame in your hand. So I absolutely love that. I guess with the other starter decks too, with like the elves with those tokens, if there are 100 resonators, anytime one of your resonators attacks, you could pick off one of those tokens. So do not think for a second that this ability is weak or small in any means. This is a great ability, and especially with the new Astral Ruler rules, where if your J ruler is destroyed, you'll still get the front side abilities of your ruler. Lunya will always have that ability to ping somebody for 100 every time one of your resonators attacks. So really good. That's really good. And when we pay the 2 red and 2 other to J activate and flip over, NYALARTHOTEP, one of my ladies. If you know me, you know I love Cthulhus, and this was just amazing. Here she is. She is back. NYALARTHOTEP, the true false legend, a human Cthulhu, 1200, 800. So again, with just keeping with that Cthulhu theme, really strong out of the gate with swiftness. It just gets even better. And here we see the limit ability continuing with the Cthulhu. So she has a limit 2. So this card enters your field with 2 limit counters on it. And whenever this card attacks or blocks, remove a limit counter from it. So she'll come out with 2. And like we've seen with other cards with limit, there is usually a side card that you can either banish or put out on the field to add limit counters. NYALARTHOTEP does not have that right off the bat. So she's going to come out with 2. She has swiftness, so she can swing right away for 1200. But whenever she attacks or blocks, you have to remove a limit counter. Also, when this card enters your field, it deals 800 damage to target resonators. So not only could she swing right away for 1200, she's going to smash somebody for 800 just by flipping over. So very strong, just very powerful like the Cthulhus. At the end of turn, if there are no limit counters on this card, put it into your ruler area as a ruler. Okay, so again, we see this with other rulers too. When the limit counters run out, you have to put it back in your ruler area. Yogg in the Frozen Casket will do that too, but he's going to ping you for 500. This one, no such loss of life, so I guess that will make up for the lower limit of 2. But at the end of turn, that means your opponent's turn too. If you use her to block one of your opponent's attacks and you run out of limit counters at the end of turn, this has to go back into your ruler area as a ruler. But overall, just a really great ruler side and a really great J ruler side. This is really looking promising. So let's go into her support. And here's another Cthulhu back, making their return from the Grim Cluster. It's Nigurath the Shepherd. I mean, look, guys, I suffer horribly from mispronouncing some of these cards, and the Cthulhu names are definitely no help for me. But a human Cthulhu Resonator 1212, but a 5-drop, 2 red and 3 other to play with a limit of 1. So when she comes into your field, she's only going to get 1. But when this card does enter your field, or whenever it attacks, search your deck for a card named Gentle Goat and put it into your field, then shuffle your deck. So when she comes out, when you play her, you get to search for Gentle Goat. Whenever she attacks, you get to search for Gentle Goat and put it onto the field. So pretty cool. If you banish a goat, you put 2 limit counters on this card. So here's how you keep her alive. At the end of turn, if there are no limit counters on this card, return it to its owner's hand. So even though she only comes out with 1, you get to bring out a Gentle Goat right off the bat. So if you're trying to keep her, if the goal is to try to keep her on the field and try to keep her swinging away, you bring her on the field, banish the goat, or you get the goat, put it in the field, banish it, you put her up to limit 2. When she attacks, you can call out another goat. It'll remove a limit counter, but banish it, you put it back on. So you are able to keep her on the field as long as you can cycle the Gentle Goats out of your deck and onto the field. Now, being that you can only carry 4 of the goats, it is going to take a little bit of strategy here because you don't have an infinite amount. It's not like Croco Sharks where you can have 100 in your deck. So you do have to have some strategy here, but I like that. This is what makes the Cthulhus different, and it's why I'm always drawn to them. So here is the Gentle Goat, a 1-drop Goat Resonator, 300 attack and defense, and this card gains +2/+2 as long as you control a Cthulhu J Resonator. So the fact that the goat comes out on the field with Niggurath? The fact that the goat comes out onto the field with her immediately puts the goat at 5/5 when it enters the field. So for a 1-drop, that is pretty good, although you're going to use this mainly for banish fodder in order to keep the limit counters adding on to her. Nightmares of Relaya. If I'm saying this wrong, guys, just please comment below and let me know. Relaya, a 3-drop quick cast chant, so you can do this at any time. Target J Resonator gains +1000, -1000 until end of turn. This is a really fun card, a really great card to play. A little poison apple field by giving your Resonator or J Resonator, your J Ruler 2, +1000. If there's no blocks declared, you could throw this out there. Throw out an extra 1000 damage. But I love the -1000 too. It's such a fun card. You don't know exactly where this is going to be played. You can use this to destroy your opponent's J Ruler. If it's 1000 or less, you can throw this out there. Sure, it gains 1000 attack, but it's going to lose -1000 defense and could potentially kill it. So I really like it, and I love the octopus tentacles swarming around with the eye right in the middle. Just really great looking card. So really fun card. Here is Lightning Strike, another quick cast chant, 1-drop, so 1 red, and choose 1. This card deals 500 damage to target J Resonator, or this card deals 500 damage to your opponent. So anyone who remembers the old Thunder, here is the new Thunder. It does exactly the same thing, a 1-drop instant that deals 500 damage to anyone or anything, J Resonator or your opponent. I have 2 problems with this card. Number 1, they didn't name it Thunder, just like the original card. So anyone who is looking to take part in the Wanderer League, where you can play any card from any cluster, you don't have to worry about the Grim phase out. The rules state you can only have 4 copies of one card in your hand. So the fact that this is not named Thunder, meaning in Wanderer League, you're going to run into guys who are going to be playing 4 Thunders and 4 Lightning Strikes. So that is 8 cards at 500 damage a piece. That's 4,000 damage. That's the game right there in instance. So I'm sure the floodgates are going to open in Wanderer League. But, that's just minor. But I wish they would have named it Thunder. Would have kept a lid on it a little bit. Also, this is the promo card if you buy a box of Curse of the Frozen Casket. I always pre-order just 1 box of each new set. and was looking forward to getting this as a promo card. But now it kind of waters it down, knowing that if I just go and buy this starter deck, which I probably will at some point, I'm going to have 4 more copies of it. So maybe it just might be a minor gripe on my part, but I wish they didn't do that. But they did, and I guess it gives everybody access to Thunder who want to stay in New Frontiers. But like I said, Wanderer League is going to be just more wild and wild as we go along. We're going to see stuff like this all the time. Here is one of my guys. Haster is one of my favorite Cthulhus, and this is Haster Chasing the Goats. Human Cthulhu Resonator, 3-drop, 2 red, and 1 other to play. 900 attack and defense with a limit of 2. This card will gain swiftness as long as your J ruler is Lunya the Wolf Girl or NYALARTHOTEP, the True False Legend. So as long as that is your ruler, Haster is coming in with 9/9 and swiftness, so can swing right out of the gate. A 3-drop 900/900 is pretty strong. Whenever this card attacks or blocks, it deals 400 damage to target J Resonator. I love that. Haster could come in if Lunya is your ruler. Haster can attack right away for 900 and can then deal 400 damage to target J Resonator. So a lot of damage to be done. At end of turn, if there are no limit counters on this card, return it to its owner's hand. So there's the downside. You're only going to get 2 shots with Haster, but definitely worth it. 900 apiece, and it deals 400 damage to target J Resonator. Lunya's Best Friend is a 2-drop Wolf Resonator, 1 red and 1 other to play. 600 attack and defense. When this card enters your field, target J Resonator gains plus 200 attack until end of turn. So not bad, and 600 attack and defense for a 2-drop, that's very good as well. So just a pretty good utility card. The Wolf comes in and gives somebody plus 200 until end of turn. So really not bad. This is Fei Li, the Charlatan, a 3-drop Human or Charlatan Resonator. 1 red and 2 other to play. 800 attack and defense, so the stats are good. But that's it. Just straight up. Just 800, 3-drop. So again, the stats are good for the cost. No other abilities right off the bat. Charlatan's Tricks is a 1-drop chant. You can only cast this on your turn. Search your deck for a card named as target Resonator or addition you control. Reveal it and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. If you control Fei Li, the Charlatan, you may put it into your field instead. So this instantly makes Fei Li that much better. If she's on the field and you play this card, you can search your deck for any Resonator or addition you currently control and put it right into your field free of charge. So this is really good for mid to late game when you have a 4-drop on the field, or maybe a 5-drop, and you have Fei Li out there. You want to get a second one. You can just play Charlatan's Tricks and go get it for the 1. So really good combo. It's definitely a hand-in-hand card. You're not going to play this card without Fei Li, and maybe not play Fei Li without this card. So a small negative in that it's going to bind up 8 of your 40 cards, but it's definitely worth it, I think. Emissary of Relaya is a 1-drop Cthulhu Resonator, and I'm just looking at the artwork. It looks so nice. 500 attack, 400 defense with swiftness, but with a catch. This card cannot attack your opponent. So people who don't like that red rush with the first turn swiftness, Flame Sprite, Hunter and Black Forest, I think, Cthulhus, just thinking of guys that can just come right out of the gate and swing right away on turn 1. Have no fear, this Resonator cannot attack your opponent. So, but still, for 1-drop, a 500 swiftness is really good. It could come in and maybe pick off one of your, maybe your opponent's turn 1 Resonator. The Emissary can come right out and just pick them off immediately. So, pretty good card. And Relaya, World of No Lies is an addition. When this card enters your field, put a limit counter on each J Resonator you control with limit. So here's a really good card. 2-drop, 1 red, and 1 other. for the edition. Also, Cthulhu J Resonators, you control game +2/+2. So this is going to beef up your Cthulhus, and this will also let you put a limit counter on each J Resonator you control that has limits. So basically your Cthulhus. It's also great for NYALARTHOTEP, your J ruler too. You could put a limit counter on her. So this is a pretty strong card and a pretty must-have card when you're running these Cthulhus. Finally is the Fire Magic Stone. I think it looks really nice. I'm usually disappointed with Magic Stones, but I have to admit that some of the Magic Stones in these starter decks in the new set really look nice, so I'm glad to see that. And finally, I just wanted to pay some homage and throw it back to the original Haster. The artwork was great. One of my favorite Cthulhus to incarnate, destroys a Resonator with no addition. Just such a great card, something I played all the time with my Cthulhus. I will miss the original Haster until I dip my toes in Wanderer League here and there, but I do have the new Haster to look forward to, and the Cthulhus as well. So guys, that is it. The final starter deck, Rage of Relia with Lunya and NYALARTHOTEP. Out of all the starter decks, I really do like this one. I don't know if I like it the most. I think they're all good. Dark is good. Light also very strong. But I am very partial towards Cthulhu's. So this might be the one I go with. I haven't decided yet. But let me know what you think below. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Always love your comments and more videos coming. So as always, thanks for a few minutes. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.